And how is it going, everyone? Welcome to more Burnout Dominator. Should be the final stream because there's only 2 series remaining, and well, in fact, I already started one of them, so I don't think, well, not only there, like, you know, there shouldn't be anything left for today, but I might even finish it earlier than I usually do, so we will see though, because, you know, if the difficulty is pretty high. It says 68% complete, but that's because I think it counts the trophies, which I cannot be asked to get, so I'm probably not gonna get, but yeah. So I was in this one, race specials. Okay, so next one is a race. Well, the problem is that the first race I did pretty badly because it was hard. I don't know how I'm gonna do on this one, but we will see. So far we only have the oval race and the Euro circuit racer. I personally prefer the NASCAR car, at least the way it looks, and we can unlock this one, the US circuit. It's one of these with the where you have to take it down 3 times. This might be a hard event to start the stream with, because aside from being a race that it's already in this game hard to beat, needing to take down the same guy 3 times is an issue. It's fine though. We will try. He overtook me very quickly. This track, I'm not sure. Well, this track is usually hard when you're supposed to get score, but I guess in a race it's not that bad. I guess it depends. There is still a lot of traffic, so it's not gonna be particularly trivial. Okay, that's not the guy I'm supposed to take down though. That's a very evil corner. Oh shit, okay, that's also a very evil section. There are 3 laps, so there is certainly time to catch this guy 3 times. So we think that the best strategy here is to purposely crash you so you can get it with a crash breaker. Because otherwise it feels like you have to purposely go slow, but that ends up being detrimental for the race, and sometimes that doesn't even work because the guy ends up overtaking you anyway. So I think the whole crashing on purpose, I didn't crash on purpose there, but I guess I'll take it. Boom. Alright, so only need 1 more and we get all the 3 takedowns. And by the way, if I get that objective, I'm finishing the race even if I don't win. Under rival, what does that mean? What do you mean under? Now I could crash here, but ideally I would want to reach the... Okay. Guess we're not reaching the first place. What an asshole, he went the other way. I got someone, but yeah, that's not the one I was supposed to get. Wait, and something happened to him too, like the rival. I think he crashed, like somewhere else, you know. That was funny though. Alright, well, at least the first place doesn't seem to be that far away. I mean, I can see him right there. At least there is still quite a bit of race, so whether it is getting the 3 takedowns or winning, there is still time to do either. But that guy should go to kill. So should I crash on purpose now? I guess I should, right? Like before we get closer to the end of the race. I will have to be on a narrow place. So this place, well, I guess here, it's not narrow, but... Come. Okay, the explosion was unfortunately unnecessary, but it's fine. It was for good measure. Well, I did unlock the car, as you can see. It removed the objective from the top right of the screen, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Now the only worry is winning the race. Well, I think that saying only is underselling it, but yeah, that's the worry. And we enter also in the final lap, so it means that the finish line is during that corner. Useful to know. As I say, even if I don't win, I will finish the event, because the unlock here is almost as important as winning. On the bright side, this is probably the last time in the game that I'm required to unlock a car like that, because usually there tends to be one of those type of unlocks per series, and the other series, the one that comes after this, the Dominator series, for what I understand, you don't unlock any car there because you already unlocked them all throughout the game, so this should most likely be the last time that I'm required to take down like this. Ooh, okay. Guess I couldn't really save myself. Well, my rival is still there. Just that taking him down is not gonna give me anything additional. He's still going around. Oof, close, very, very close. Oh, and there it is, them. And so that crash was surprisingly close to the end. I'm glad that, you know, ended up winning regardless. So we got both gold and car unlock. Well, I like the way this car looks, but I don't know, it feels weird to do takedowns in a car like this. It's fine. They call it US Circuit Racer, but this thing, I mean, the way it looks, it makes me think that it's the typical car that gets used for dirt. Oh, well, this is an actual circuit racer, I guess. Like the previous car looked like a typical car that gets used for dirt tracks. So that's a little bit weird. Unfortunately, what I don't like about Burnout Formula cars is that they have such a fat nose for some reason. I mean, they are probably basing it on a very specific formula model of a very specific year, but it looks so goofy. Really does. It's fine. Well, at least it only looks goofy from the front. From the rear, it looks like the usual formula car. Well, the handling seems to be pretty good as well, so I really don't know if there's any difference between the handling of the different cars. Also, this is a burnout event, so crashing like that is a no-go. Like, the idea is to go all the way with a burnout chain until the end of the event. I mean, it's probably not fully required to get the gold, but there's also a hard track. Well, in fact, this track, yeah. Okay, so I need to remember that corner has a bus in that specific spot, so I guess I should go wider on the corner instead of trying to, you know, go very short on it, right? That gives me a question of what was the remaining car in this category that I still have not unlocked. Don't quite remember. No. Damn it. It's gonna be a problem to do this. I mean, I could try and keep going to see how permissive it is, but this type of events don't tend to be very permissive at all, so I don't think it's a good idea. Okay, that tracks. I'm gonna keep going just to see, as I say, how picky it's gonna be. Yeah, that track wasn't there before. Yeah, I guess it's another thing to look out for. Damn. Well, at that point, I'm definitely not gonna get it, but I want to see how long this is. Remember that 35,000 is the gold medal. Well, I'm pretty sure that here, if you manage to keep the burnout chain for this long, that will have been enough to get the goal. Here I'm doing terribly. Absolutely terribly. Yeah. Well, it's hard to tell because I crashed like, what, 3 times, but seems that this one will be a little bit hard. I mean, it's on the same track that that I had the race that I also couldn't get gold, that I had to settle with bronze. So maybe this track is simply, you know, the actual hardest one. I said that the hardest one was the one with the highway, but this one seems that when you put a lot of traffic in it, it's almost undrivable because of how often you're gonna crash. And here it's not like you can afford to go slow, because you could say something like, well, should slow down if you're crashing too much, but the whole point of this event is doing burnout chain, so you are not allowed to go slow. Like, you need to go fast, no matter what. Always crash against the same boss. It's just that right there I was scared about the truck, but I didn't see the truck there. Damn it. It's this corner. Yeah, the truck didn't appear there, so I essentially got extremely scammed last time. Like, the truck came out of nowhere. Couldn't do anything about it. Oof. Well, there is that's the track, but yeah, not in the same spot. Okay, at some point the car gave up on the drift. I don't know why. The goal is still achievable, but I cannot get allowed to crash again. It is still achievable technically. That part is so shitty, dude. It's a blind corner and there are so many obstacles. Yeah, unfortunately this is not gonna be enough now. Damn it, dude. I mean, the ending is very close. It's right there. Yeah, that ain't enough. Well, and here it's not like it matters if you unlock the car, because the car is something that you will get no matter what if you catch the goal. And of course I cannot settle for anything less than gold. I also could leave this event for later, but considering that I already left the race event for later, I probably shouldn't. Wouldn't be a good idea to leave too many things for last. Could get a little bit overwhelming. The place that I crashed against was a very dumb one. Was against a corner that... It's because this car is a little bit weird. When you start grinding a wall, it's like there is an additional magnet force that sucks you in further. Well, I got the goal, so nothing that can happen now will matter, because I win. Yeah, this corner is crazy. You have to absolutely remember what you're about to do and exactly where the obstacles are, because if you don't, it's a blind corner that you will just crash against, no matter what. Got him. Well, and we also got the Formula car, so not bad. And theoretically there's only one more of this remaining. I got a trophy award, really? For what? Maybe a total of gold medals or something? Did I... What did I get? Yeah, from the front this thing looks pretty ugly. Okay. Yeah, gold medals indeed. And some of this, well, win all gold medals is not a problem, and well, the unlock all shortcuts is close to impossible. You will need a lot of focus. Alright, on to road rage. Well, using this thing for road rage seems like a bad idea, but it's not like it matters. I don't think there's any sort of stat that will make you, you know, fail. And we're also still having very low amount of takedowns for road rage. In this case, 13. Well, 13 was the same amount as the previous road rage event. How the hell was that taken out? That was weird. Like, I just crashed against him and that was it. Amazing start, honestly. Crazy start. You know, I guess the challenging thing about these events is simply not running out of time. So here you need 6 takedowns in essentially a little bit more than a minute, which shouldn't be bad to do. It's essentially a takedown every 10 seconds. Shouldn't be that hard to do. That was a waste of time. This guy respawned right away. I actually didn't get the NASCAR car there, I got the other one. Yeah, that's an instant payback indeed. I think that also for him counted as a vertical takedown, but I even wonder why I haven't been able to do a vertical takedown even once in this game. And I'm pretty sure that by this time in Burnout Revenge I had done like what, 3? That was a signature shortcut, oh, okay. Sure. That didn't do shit. And the rear wing doesn't look very nice. Okay, 2 more for the goal. Okay, by this time in Burnout Revenge, I'm pretty sure I already gotten like 4 vertical takedowns in total. Okay, not in this game, it seems that there aren't just that many champs probably. It was pretty quick, but yeah, that worked for me. Yeah, signature shortcut. Well, that's something that doesn't really matter. So the game will specifically give you a little cutscene for doing that. Man, trying to do a takedown in a very specific spot is very hard. So, near miss challenge. I guess I will keep picking this car, though I might want to pick this car at least once, just to use it. That F1 car almost barrel roll into Gran Turismo 4, yeah, probably. I will still go in Sunshine. It's probably the case. It's a shame though that in Gran Turismo 4 the Formula cars are so, well, not the cars themselves I guess, but rather the AI that uses the cars is so lame. It would be nice if it wasn't, but I guess it is. Ouch. Yeah, I think that losing the burnout chain here is probably not good, especially, well, this is actually the highest that they asked for a gold medal, 5,000. In all of the other ones it was 4,000. Yeah, I'm doing well. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too hot today. That kinda sucks a lot, but it's fine. Trying to take it easy. Trying to not try hard too much, because, you know, if I try hard too much, I'm gonna end up heating up even more. Also, this track again, and this track again kicking my ass. You know, we banned this track. Or is it the same one? Maybe it's not, but I mean, that corner was the same one. Just that this part, yeah, well, no, it is. It's the Malaysian one. Oh, come on, dude. Yeah, it's fine. Dude. I was going slow there. How is it possible that I crash? It's what I say, trying to not try hard will be a weakness. We're gonna be fine, don't worry about it. I assure you it's gonna be fine. Okay, I'm not sure how this car is crashing against those things, but it shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I could change the car. Like maybe the way the model of the car makes me think that I'm further than I actually am. Maybe I should use the NASCAR one. I mean, the NASCAR one is the one that is like an almost perfect rectangle, so I think that you should have many doubts of where the hitbox is, but with this one, maybe a little bit more rough. Or maybe not, maybe it's just the good old skill issue. I mean, it is a skill issue no matter what, but you get the point. Oof, close. Ooh, that's very close too. Oh, we got it. Nice. And it doesn't give you that much margin to do it. So if you went into the oncoming lane instead of the regular one, you probably will have gotten more score. Yeah, that was pretty close. So you know, no NASCAR was needed here at all. Yeah, don't worry about it. So, Eliminator. Yeah, I can just use the world circuit, why not? That guy, a little bit of a hurry. I mean, makes sense, this is an Eliminator event after all. Though, didn't we already have an Eliminator event in this same track, on this same direction not that long ago? I'm pretty sure we did, right? Yeah, we did. That's a little bit bad for variety, Mr. Game. It's fine though. Yeah, maybe we did that on the, like with the supercars perhaps. I think we did it with the supercars. They went all the other way. Yeah, the explosion ain't gonna catch them. Suddenly the NASCAR decided to zoom away, and it's fine. I do wonder though, because you can already see that the difficulty of these events is getting relatively high. So my question is, how high it's gonna be on the Dominator series? Because it really has the potential to be very, very high. Not to mention the cars are also faster than this category, so the chances of crashing against something are a lot higher. That's not gonna work, right? Well, okay, it worked for 2, not bad. Are you seriously taking this? Yeah, I don't think that this is a good path to take at all. Hey, if you say so. Well, say, if you do so, I'll follow. That's a shame. Okay, hold up. Wait for it. Okay. I had to get them both there. Obviously. Ooh, okay, I thought I was gonna crash. In fact, I pressed R2 as soon as I was next to that guy, because I was sure that was gonna be a crash, but it wasn't. My third place eliminated, but that guy is still there, and that's a problem and a half. Okay, well, he got stuck with a pillar. That tends to happen. Unfortunately, it's a still skill issue. But unfortunately for you guys, fortunately for me. Okay. Nice. At least these events were progressing not extremely fast, but not extremely slow either. Okay, and this is the final card to unlock of this category. It's a Maniac event on the oil refinery. So here you have a Euro Classic. Like, it's supposed to be like the... Oh, that's a pretty cool color. I like the green and this one, but specifically this one, I think. It is the typical old Le Mans car. Well, it even says it in the name, the classic LM. That's pretty cool. I still, if I get too big, it's probably just the formula car for me. Oh, my bad, I forgot to speed up. 140,000 for gold, and also to unlock this car. Well, it's Maniac. Previously we had 150,000 a Maniac gold medal, and essentially it was a little bit hard, mostly because it was a hard track. This track I'm not sure how hard it's gonna be. But, well, it's only hard around the time that you start getting into the grass, I think. Which is about to happen, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Or did we just come from it? But regardless, I crash in another place altogether, my bad. Oof, that was very close. Keep in mind that these Maniac events usually tend to be like 2 laps. I guess this is the part that will pose a problem. I can't see because of the sun. Wait, I just realized that I couldn't renew the burnout there, so like all that boost that I was using was an absolute waste. My bad, my bad. Well, at least I didn't crash in the part that I thought I would, because I was going slow anyways. And we need to do slightly better. than the first lap if we're gonna get the gold. Like slightly better. No, okay, I think that was the place that I also crashed first in the previous lap, right? I can't believe that. Can't believe that because I had enough time to react and I wasn't even drifting, so I don't know why I didn't do it. I guess sometimes when you are going so fast it's just very hard to control anything. It's a shame because if I would have resisted up until here, I probably would have kept going with the chain for absolutely free. Hey, I fucked up. It's fine, it's fine. It is still doable, but I think another crash will completely nullify it. Like, I cannot afford to crash one more time. But in fact, I wonder even if it's enough by not crashing. Yeah, I guess it will be, but by not much. Oh, I got the golden... Oh, it's 140,000, not 150. Okay, gotcha. Well, I got 152 just in case the game wanted it. It's this section here, the one that is the hardest one. There with the column and then this weird chicane. Those two things make this track so... Well, or rather that section so hard to do. No problem. First try. No resets needed. Dominator challenge. Oh yeah, to unlock the final Dominator car. So not only we unlock the final race car here, but also this challenge that comes here will be the final one. Well, the final car unlock, for what I understand. This thing. The GT Racer. Okay, I wanna go there. So as always, these events are always a maniac type, right? I wonder how much score you want. In 250,000, okay. I think that has been the longest objective so far. At least this is the first track in the game, and I don't think it has too many hard things, but I'm pretty sure that here the idea of crashing, like, well, it has to just be an idea, I guess it cannot happen. Like 250,000 is a lot of score. Something that I also noticed about this car is that it feels like the handling is not that good. I don't know if that's because it's going so fast that it just naturally struggles with cornering or what. That was a crash. I don't expect to do this without crashing at all, but this will be hard. Also, that's one lap, right? Well, if that's one lap, that's an issue. No, maybe it isn't. Or is it? No, it is, yeah. Team. Okay, so... yeah, you can all crash once then. If that's one lap and the total is 2 laps... team. Alright. This event is looking to be... a little bit tough. Well, it makes sense since it's the final Dominator car to unlock. shouldn't expect it to be easy. Was a good drift. No, wrong side, it's fine. The game was merciful there, like that probably should have been a crash. No, it was an act of mercy. Oof. And sometimes the visibility when you take one of those shortcuts is also pretty rough. No, oh, that sucks. What an asshole. So, well, yeah, I don't think I'm getting it, because that's basically where the lap cutoff is. And if I get the same score as now, it's not gonna be enough. Well, and now it's even less than enough. Yeah, this one might be a problem. It's fine. So be it. It most likely will be a problem. Will it be more of a problem than the race that I got the bronze medal on? I don't know. Maybe. That's another thing that I have to keep in mind. There is one race I could not win. So, as I say before, they are... If there wasn't any other thing, wouldn't be an issue. I don't like the idea of leaving multiple things for last, you know. That being said, I probably will leave this one for last, because this one looks excessively hard. Like, I could get stuck here for a whole hour, I'm pretty sure. Like, 2 laps with that car without making a single mistake is very rough. We have a drift challenge. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I could use this thing, but nah, I'm using the formula car. As I say, from behind, this car looks the best. It really looks like you're using a very nice formula. So keep in mind that despite being a drift challenge, it's still very important to get the burnout chaining. Without the burnout chaining, you are not gonna get too far. Damn it. I'm a pragmatic thinker. You think so? Thanks. If that was me, I would have kept going for an hour. Well, don't get me wrong, I also... that's the thing. I'm usually try hard things that take me a very long time. Well, the biggest example of that is if you look at one of my most legendary playthroughs, if not the most legendary playthrough, which is the Wings of V playthrough. I am stuck in bosses of that game for like 5 whole streams. 5 streams of like 3 hours each, you know? So it's not like I'm foreign to try harding something for a long time. But in this case, since there are multiple options available, I feel like leaving the hardest one for last is the right idea. I'm definitely not foreign to being very stubborn, you know. A lot of times I can be very stubborn. But yeah. I mean, to be fair, in the case of Wings of V, you either beat the boss that you were stuck on, or you wouldn't be able to progress. It's not like it was like, you know, an open world game that if you couldn't do something, you move on to something else. No, that's the classical game that everything you do is for progress. There is no side things. I lost the supercharge, fuck. It's fine, this event shouldn't be hard. Because it's not a long one, and I don't think the point requirement is that high. Though, the biggest thing why it shouldn't be hard is because it's short. So you're supposed to not crash, but not for a very long time. You can take a relatively... in fact, I'm pretty sure this isn't even half a lap. Like the thing here. Yeah, that was pretty close. Say that it's pretty evil here to put any traffic in a track like this. That was the goal, right? 10,000? Yeah, it was the goal. So yeah, as I say, this one, if this one was an entire lap, well, let alone 2 laps like the Maniac challenge was, this would have been very hard. But since it's like less than half a lap, you're only intended to do well for a short period of time, and you get it. Oh, damage unlock. So that's the second time that happens. So that means that the UI is gonna get cracked again. Now, what does that even mean? Like, yeah, the UI is cracked, so... what do you want me to do with that? Then now it gets cracked even further. I mean, sure, but what am I supposed to make out of that? Alright, well, the only things left in this series are the Grand Prix, the Dominator Challenge, and the first race. So I feel like I wanna try the first race and see how that goes, but this was a very hard race. And in fact, even that bronze medal, like that 3rd place that I got, I didn't get it that easily. But ironically, this is the first event in the series. And so far it's one of the hardest ones. I still think though that the Dominator challenge will be harder, because here it's not like you need to drive perfectly, you just need to drive well enough to have, you know, the rivals behind you. But in that Dominator challenge you're supposed to drive flawlessly for almost the entirety of the track. Well, maybe not the entirety of the event, but like you're at least intended to do 1 lap flawlessly. Like that's the minimum. If you cannot do 1 lap flawlessly on that Dominator challenge, you're not getting the gold. So that's a problem. Yeah, this one, even though the track is hard and the amount of traffic that there is in it is also hard, it's mostly a matter of, you know, being good enough to be first by the time the race is over. So if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's the cutoff. If that was the final lap, I probably would have won. It would have been very close though, because as you can see I crashed like right at the end, but we will see. We will see how it goes. Ooh, that was very, very close. That was also extremely close. I'm getting very lucky right now. Like, extremely lucky even. Okay. It does feel like this car And maybe it's just like an illusion, but it feels like this car definitely drives better than the one I had to use, which essentially was the first one. Okay, I'm gonna slow down here. This is where I always crash, so if I go in slower, okay, there you go. Damn, first try. So maybe it was because of this car that I could do so well. Maybe the first car that they make you use is a piece of trash. But since the game doesn't show stats of any kind, it's very, very hard to tell. Well, but I'll take that. So, that means that the only two things left here are the Grand Prix and the Dominator challenge. So, normally I will leave the Grand Prix for last, but I legitimately think that this one will be very hard to get. And the Grand Prix shouldn't be hard. I mean, no Grand Prix so far was hard to get, so I don't see this one being an exception. Let's just do this. I don't know if there's gonna be 3 races or more, but I don't think I care. Another thing about the Dominator challenge is that you are forced to pick that car no matter what, right? So if there was a difference between cars, it doesn't matter because it's the only one you're allowed to pick. Tough luck. Did they crash? Because like I was stopped for a very long time and none of them overtook me. Now, my question is, what happens if I don't use the boost whatsoever? Well, yeah, I guess they start overtaking you like that. Yeah, that's what happens. Very quick answer. Because obviously, if your idea is to drive safely, it's as easy as not using the boost, but yeah. I should be able to get them when I land. Yeah, like that. Or not, I guess, okay. So it seems that the explosion, well, the crash breakers range is completely random. It's good when it feels like being good. Well, or when the car you're trying to hit is literally next to you. Well, final lap. It's not a... Okay, that should not have happened. It's the second time that I get taken down simply by hitting someone from behind. Not sure why. Oof. No, then it, the worst place possible. I got another one, nice. Alright, the race is out to be over, so I think I'm simply... not even gonna bother chaining the last burnout there, because I wanted to go safe on the regular lane. Okay, so there is also 3 races here, so that's good. That was a good start. But then keep in mind that so far, since I didn't have the necessity to restart any Grand Prix, I still don't know how the Grand Prix restarts work. Like if it's on a single race or you start the whole thing all over again. And I also didn't know how it worked in Burnout Revenge, because I also didn't have the need to do that. So yeah, I hope I don't need to find out no matter what. We will see. In triple, nice. How many laps? 2. That should be fine. I shouldn't have stopped the boost there. Sometimes I still get a little bit confused. Not confused because I don't understand how it works, but simply that my reflexes are confused because they are not fully used to it. But when you're about to completely burn all your meter and you know that you won't get the supercharge back, you still should burn it all out, because by doing that you get the burnout bonus. Even if you don't keep the chain going, getting the bonus is important because you eventually get free meter. But if you just let it go before it ends, you don't get shit and you essentially have to build it back all over again. So it's easy to understand conceptually, but I got so used to the previous 3 games that it's hard for my muscle memory to adapt. Thankfully it doesn't happen often, because most times, like in my case, it's kind of like ride or die, right? Like I either get a burnout chain or I crash. But as you can see, perfect illustration of my point right now. You can see what I mean. Like essentially I don't even need to think about it, because I usually always renew my boost. But yeah, well, for example there I didn't, but I still got the burnout, and that's the important thing, getting the burnout if you're not gonna renew the chain. Well, in that case though, it wouldn't have even mattered, because it was gonna finish anyways. Yeah. Well, and the good thing is that with these points, yeah, I should be fine. So I guess we're not gonna figure out how the restart in Grand Prix works, because it won't be needed. So that's nice. Though there might still be a Grand Prix when you get to the Dominator series, probably. So that's the question. What events are there even gonna be in the Dominator series? And why are there only 10? That's another important question. Well, I'm assuming because there is no Dominator challenge or preview. And maybe it also means that there is no Grand Prix. So I mean, if there are 3 less events, we will be lacking 1 to draw the conclusion here. Oh, I didn't know there was a wall there. I didn't know that wasn't gonna work. Still got an aftertouch at least. Not that bad. Okay. Oh, and that was already the first lap, so it's gonna be a very short race. Very, very short. Doing some absolutely sick drift right now. Okay, no. Oof. Okay, nice. Because yeah, the lap is about to be over now. Well, the lap and the race. got it. Nice, perfect Grand Prix. So yeah, no need to worry about the resetting at all. Just give me the gold medal. So yeah, right now the only thing left will be the Dominator challenge. I mean, I could also go to the Dominator series, but I think that not doing this one will be the wrong way of looking at it. Not to mention that if I don't do this, I cannot unlock this card for the Dominator series. But yeah, this is a very hard event. At least right now, I know that this is the only event in the Racing Special series, so that means that, you know, like I don't need to leave time for anything else in here. Well, you can still say that I need to leave time for the Dominator series, but it will feel wrong to go there without fully beating this one. Though I cannot promise that I might end up doing that anyways, but yeah. And it's pretty noticeable going from the Formula car to this one, like how the Formula car feels so much better to drift, and this one struggles so much doing it. Really is a day and night difference. Okay, right there it didn't even felt like drifting, and I pressed the button, but no, it didn't. It did not want to drift. It wasn't of its liking. You know, the drifting of this thing is very bad. And the problem is that this is a track that has many of these typical long corners, so drifting is kinda necessary, you know? Not something that you can simply ignore. Okay, why did you even do that? For what reason? Well, at least somehow I was able to keep the burnout going. That was a miracle. What a dipshit, dude. That lone car getting in the way because he felt like it. God damn it. And well, you can see it like this, how awful the drifting on this thing is. Though those things gave me an idea. Couldn't you simply just donut in place and essentially get the points like that? Probably not. I will assume that there's something to prevent it, but I mean, theoretically, if there's nothing that prevents it, you will simply donut in place and keep chaining burnouts like that. I mean, the only problem will be if a traffic car crashes you. For now, the idea is getting it normally, without any sort of cheese. It will be interesting if that cheese works. Pretty funny as well. This is around the place I crashed on the previous attempt. And yeah, it is no wonder. That's such a blind corner, dude. Like, that's a corner that you need to predict the future to not get hit. God damn it, dude. And that's the end of the lap as well, so that's also why it stinks so much, because at that point, if you're able to chain like a couple more burnouts, I feel like that will be enough score. You have no choice but to go full focus here, no matter what. You just gotta keep the focus for quite an extended period of time. Okay, well, that's one lap, and the burnout chain is still going. Not sure for how long though, but oof, that was very close. Holy shit. Okay. In that track, I saw it from very long and it scared me a lot. So is that shortcut count? Well, I got the goal, nice. Team. So you only get the goal after surviving for like a whole lap and a half. That's crazy. The interesting thing there is that I took that dirt shortcut and for some reason it felt like it gave me like oncoming bonus, right? Little bit weird. Hey, well, I wanted to do a perfect attempt at the event. This will have to. Well, I almost did it. It was basically 2 more corners. But yeah, I'll take what I got. So hey, with that we got all the gold medals from the racing specials. That's pretty nice. Yeah, we unlock that car. Oh, and also 2 trophies. That's interesting. I don't know for what. The car is this one. Yeah, pretty sure the last Dominator car to unlock. And then what else do we got? Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, we don't have any doubt that we unlock every single car. Well, the other ones, total takedowns and near misses, are also something that you will get with time. So the interesting thing is that I still couldn't get the vertical takedown. And well, this one, like the unlock all shortcuts is the harder one. The other one is basically just farming. But yeah, the unlocking all shortcuts is easily the hardest one. So here we got all of the gold medals for that. As always, just double check in case I might have missed something, but no, I don't think so. 13 gold medals and 5 unlock cars. Okay, so on to the Dominator series with only 10 events and with the cars that we unlock throughout the game. So the first event is Maniac. So you can pick all of the ones that you unlock. The issue is that as much as I would like to use this one, it really feels like the handling is not very good, but I don't know if with the other ones it's much better, so... I mean, I could try, for example, this factory GT. Let me see how this one drives. Well, then again, 125,000 points shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Yeah, okay, this one seems to... Well, I'm going slow for now. I need to wait until I get a boost, but so far it's already doing... Okay. Yeah, that doesn't count, you know. Wasn't expecting that card to be there, of course. Came out of nowhere. At least... No, I think it's definitely better at drifting than the other one. I don't think there's too much of a doubt about it. Right there I kinda got stuck, but yeah, I think it is better. And I think that these are all supposed to be the same speed, so it's not like you're sacrificing speed. Though it's also very hard to tell about if it truly is better for drifting or not. At times it also feels very similar. Really is an issue that there are no stats whatsoever, so if there's any difference between the cars you just wouldn't know, you know. What a piece of fucking shit. Random ass car crossing the street. God damn it, dude. Okay, and this is the one lap thing. Well, it should be fine. Should be fine, but I shouldn't, you know, overly crash either. Because... Oh, come on, dude. Stop with the fucking traffic. So 125,000 is basically... Well, if I can get the same amount of points I have right now, it will be enough for that. Oh, I can stop crashing. Nice. Pretty cool. You know, it might be the same when it comes to drift, because the struggle here that I'm having is pretty much the same struggle that I will have with the other car too. Okay. If I get this burnout, it's enough. Yeah, it is indeed enough. Yeah, at least compared to the previous Dominator challenge, this one has been super easy. Got him. So yeah, I probably would have gotten this one even with the other car. Hey, this one at the same time looks pretty nice too, so it's not like I pick a car that I don't like. This one I definitely do like it. Alright, so the next one is a racing autobahn. Well, I guess I could pick it. I guess to also make the comparison, like, head to head. Oh, and the cool thing of there being 6 Dominator cars is that when you actually get into a race, every car is different. Okay, you know, it seems that the drifting is the same. I don't really think there's any difference. So yeah, I guess that you will pick whatever looks the best for you, I guess. close. It's bound to happen. No, I was spamming R2 because I already knew that a crash was coming. You gotta be, you know, you gotta be ready to prevent stuff. Now the issue is that here the first place went quite far apparently. Well, not too far, I see him there. Okay. That shortcut is close. So yeah, I guess that's what it means with unlocking shortcuts, but I feel like some of them were also close and I was allowed to get through them regardless, you know. Maybe... Okay, that was completely worthless. Get fucked. Was at the perfect position to get demolished. This is gonna be the final lap, so... And that's a very bad way to start the final lap. At least I got an after touch for free. Again to the same place, dude. This probably should be a restart by now. Yeah, it should. Though I could also leave this event for last, just like I did with that Malaysia race in the Racing Special Series. Because we already know that race is not the only type of event that you will see here. Man, how could it be possible that... No, okay, I will leave this race for last. Because at this rate it seems pretty clear that it won't be easy to beat. So we can leave that one for last. Okay, and the road race still remain with very low takedowns for gold medal, so I guess here this one is certainly not gonna be like in Burnout Revenge where at the end it goes all the way to 30. Like here it remains low until the very last road race event. I mean, that's another thing that you can look at for comparison of like which one is the easiest Burnout game. And this one certainly seems like it is. Because before this one I say that the easiest was Burnout Revenge, but here it seems pretty clear that this one is easier than Revenge. Ironically, with the harder races. That's the irony of it all. An overall easier game, but with the races being essentially the hardest ones in the series. Quite ironic, but true, or at least what I think it's true. You could disagree. Well, I got a signature shortcut, I guess. Cool. Wasn't my objective though. Now the thing is that if you want that shortcut to remain unlocked, you have to finish the event, right? Like even if you don't get the gold medal, because if you restart, it's like you never got it. And it's not like I'm planning to get... Oh, what the hell? I got phased through the wall again. The worst part is that that will count for... Oh, okay, it didn't even... You know, this is the first time that a glitch has screwed me over like that. Like, it might have been the first time. Because in every other occasion, the glitch has been none other than like a little distraction and that's it. But in this one, it legitimately made me lose the gold medal. Damn. Well, that's a shame. But I mean, we can just try again. It's not like once you done it, that's it. No, we can give it another try, no worries. That explosion was so shitty. It really feels like the explosion is RNG. Looking at my meter, I'm pretty sure I had more than enough meter there to do an important explosion, but I guess no. Right there you had no escape, no matter what. This was around the time that I got scammed by the game itself. We already got critical damage. But at least the shortcut is unlocked. And it's a cool looking shortcut, I guess. It's a very wide tunnel. I guess you can say that I'm a fan of tunnels. Well, depends when, you know. In some cases, getting into a tunnel in a racing game can make everything super hard, especially when it comes to visibility. Yeah, I know I have critical damage too. I got the gold. Nice. Nice. Yeah, without a doubt, I think that road race events might be... Well, road race, or I think it's a tie between road race and near miss events. Like one of those two is like the easiest event type in the game. One or the other. Alright, so... Was there another race? No, the race was this one. We have a Burnout Challenge. Well, both Burnout Challenge and Maniac at this point are kinda like the same thing, right? This, in the sense that, you know, you have to probably drive perfectly, though the Burnout challenges are shorter, that's true. Maniac is the one that essentially requires you to be perfect for longer periods of time, so... I think that coming here was a good idea. Remember, the objective of this is simply to chain burnout. That's the only thing that will give you score here. And here if I get another one. Yeah, there you go. Well, that was very free. Actually, very, very free. So yeah, I guess that you cannot really compare these to Maniac. Like the length is not even close. Okay. Well, at this rate we're gonna be essentially beating this Dominator series extremely fast. Which is... well, I mean, I guess it can be a good thing, but... if I beat this too fast, I will have to think of something else to stream. But we got Maniac. This one might be hard. Instead, Maniacs... well, it's still okay, but it's 125,000. As long as it remains being that amount, it should not be a problem whatsoever. Was a bad place to do that. Though actually, now that I think about it, this track was the hard one because of the multiple places where there was there was no one coming at all. So that's an issue. Like, especially for Maniac. I mean, for anything that requires you getting points. This one kinda sucks. But then it's specifically... yeah. Like, that start is probably the worst in the whole game. Like, that start with the little path that doesn't have any oncoming traffic into that one corner with the statue or whatever it is. Well, it's simply a wall, I guess. Yeah, that's the absolute worst. Well, it's a tree. It's supposed to be like some sort of plaza, I guess. A very small one. Maybe I should ignore the start, because if I keep restarting on the start, it's not gonna get any easier, you know? Not to mention that it's not a problem to lose the chain at the very start. The problem is if you lose the chain at the very middle of the track, well, of the event, which by extension it's pretty much the middle of the track. I guess I will be surprised if there is no Maniac event here that has a higher score, or even the same score as 250,000 for the gold medal, which was the Dominator challenge, because that will make that Dominator challenge the hardest event in the game, you know? Alright, well, that was bad, but it's fine, because as long as I get a relatively decent chain, I'm gonna be fine. Those drift came in clutch, and there it is. It might be possible that that Dominator challenge was actually the hardest event in the game. Which is fine. I mean, I don't mind. I don't really care. Go. Okay, not bad. I think that means, well, listen, considering that I skipped the race, we are technically not halfway through. You see, there are 5 more events, oh, and another road race. Is the road race gonna be any different? Is it gonna be 14? Okay, it's 15, sure, but it's still very, very low compared to what it could have been. Did that count as a vertical takedown? No. But I think that if it's a vertical takedown, it tells you. It would have been nice. I guess one of the things I'll never get here is a vertical takedown. I thought that explosion will reach that guy for sure. I guess not. I guess at this speed, even if I close him against the wall like that, he's not gonna count as a takedown. What a dipshit, dude. I hate when the traffic cars essentially cross in front of you, because at that point it feels like there's very little for you to do. Really? This might be critical damage. Well, apparently not yet, but probably not far. Yeah, I only need 2 more takedowns for the goal. Oh, and now only 1 more. Will you give it to me? You will, nice. Well, another free first try, I guess. That didn't work. And surprisingly still doesn't say critical damage. Okay. Now it says critical damage. And there is something that this car does a lot, and it's the... You know... Those 180 drifts seem to happen so often. They just happen. Oh, got him. Alright. Not bad. Yeah. I think I got a trophy and... Oh, wait, so maybe it was a vertical takedown, because it said new trophy award, unless I got the second to last one instead of the third one. Did I? No, okay, so it was a vertical takedown, but it said 2 in a row instead of vertical takedown. Well, that's nice at least. Another trophy out of the way. And I might easily get the fourth one too. The one that I definitely won't get is the fifth one though. The fourth one I should be able to. Alright, what else do we got? Oh, another race. Will we leave this one for last two? It's possible. Might be possible. No, I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was Autobahn, the first race. I mean, that's not a super hard track, so... If anything, that means that the chances of leaving this one for later are also pretty high, I guess. We will see though. Damn it. By him hitting me like that, it took away all of the boost I had. It just stole my boost. But that they are invisible walls. That would have been a problem. If it actually counted as a crash for you going out of bounds, but no, just an invisible wall that prevents you from doing that. These are also 3 laps. 3 laps for a track that is not particularly short, you know. That explosion is also useless. But yeah, always the same shit with this track. Like, that one thing that makes me think I'm supposed to drift more, but no. One thing that I'll definitely tell you, that is, I think, my biggest gripe with this game is the tracks. I think that this might be even like the worst track in the series so far. It's basically, I think, the only downside that I can find for this game, but okay, I'm gonna leave the races for last. It's very clear they are gonna be the hardest events here. So there's a Grand Prix here, and there's also the Total Maniac. I wonder when you unlock that. Damn. Now you made me curious. Total Maniac, huh? I wonder what that means. Well, with the word Maniac, it means that it's most likely a Maniac event, yeah. Oh wait, I can go here? I didn't know that. See, like, some shortcuts are open since the very beginning, even if you don't do any takedown. So I guess that there might be only one per track that needs to be unlocked, like manually. Okay. Well, technically this is also a race, but being an eliminator event is a lot shorter. So here I don't think I will have a choice, because the remaining events here are a Grand Prix and that weird maniac thing. But I don't know how it's gonna get unlocked. Well, need to survive half a minute. Will that be too much to ask? Well, if I crash, I need to, no matter what, hit him with the crash breaker. I cannot afford not doing that. I guess no need. So that corner at the end was almost a crash. Alright. So yeah, right now it's the two races, the Grand Prix and that maniac thing. So there's no more dodging. Like, we gotta do those events no matter what. So the Grand Prix gets unlocked, but I don't feel like it's, you know, it's not a nice thing to go to the Grand Prix without having beaten the individual races before. So just gonna try hard the individual races first, and then we will worry about the rest. At least that was a pretty, well, exactly, a perfect lap. Very promising first lap, but you know that here what matters the most is the final one. You could do perfectly in the first two laps, but if you fumble it on the final one, it's the same as nothing. Then it was, I had a lot of air time there, so couldn't really start the drift on the corner. I tried, but it didn't let me. I didn't crash against anything right there, dude. Yeah, I guess that all the perfection from the first lap is not coming back, huh? That's a shame. Not to mention that I let the first place is still there. Didn't let him escape that much. And that guy, I also don't know what he crashed against. Looked like he just hit a pebble on the ground. Pretty funny. So this is the one lap that matters. Everything else is filler. This is the one that counts. I can't believe the exact same shit happened again. But I really don't know what you expect me to do. Like, that champ is unavoidable. You just want me to reduce the speed no matter what. Oh, I'm out of boost. Well, that's... Fuck, dude. I don't see anyone. Okay, I see them there. That's... Man, that sucks so fucking much, dude. It was a matter of surviving the end and I couldn't even do that. That really sucks, but it's what I told you, like... The only thing that matters is the very end. Everything else is completely irrelevant. It's the end, the one that matters. Okay, that's a shame. Okay. It's fine. There are essentially only 4 events remaining, and one of them is this race, so if these events take a long time, it's fine. Are you for real? Dude, what's wrong with this fucking car? Why does it do those 360s? It's either crashing or doing a 360. Apparently, this car is not capable of doing that corner. Like, it just cannot manage to do it. No matter what. Give me... this corner is gonna be the worst shit about this race. And the worst part is that it seems to come out of nowhere, so I cannot even anticipate it. And that made me fly so high that the explosion was not gonna work no matter what. just wish the first place didn't just do its own thing here. That's essentially what they do. Can it do? Okay. That has to be a restart. Damn. How many crashes were there? Like 4 in 20 seconds? Oh, my bad, I forgot to... Okay, let me restart that. Yeah, that's the first time I actually forget to enable the frame limiter after disabling it. Oh, you know that I was actually looking for a button that skips the song. There is actually a button, it's L2. Well, that's pretty cool. That song, on top of being a song I don't like, the fact that it's in Spanish and not even properly pronounced Spanish, and even worse, Spanish that only appears on the chorus and then never again, like, no, dude. Even if it was the English version, I probably will skip it. I mean, it's not a song for this game, dude. I understand that it was a popular song from around the time the game released, but like, it's a racing game. I don't think a song like that is fitting at all. But not to mention a racing game with a lot of violence. I mean, if it was like, I don't know, a Barbie racing game, well, yeah, sure, I guess it will be fitting there. But it is Burnout. And I'm not saying that because, you know, it might seem that I'm saying, oh, a girl cannot sing in a game like this. No, in fact, the previous game, Burnout Revenge, and well, Legends, I guess, since it pretty much shares the same soundtrack, there is a song that is sung by a girl that is like the type of song that you will hear here, like a very chaotic and, you know, noisy song, like pretty much the other ones, or at least most of the other ones. But yeah, I don't think that Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne is the type of song that fits a game like this. It certainly doesn't. It's whatever. So the real weird decision is putting the song twice. It's whatever. Now that I know that you can skip it, at least there shouldn't be any issues. But the issue here is still winning this race, right? Well, that's not related to... That's not related to the music. Yeah, but I'm getting absolutely fucked, dude. I really am. Yeah, there's no other event to do right now other than this one. Well, the other race, sure, but it's as hard as this one, so not gonna make any difference. Yeah, I got away with a lot of bullshit there. I guess it couldn't keep going forever. I'm gonna restart though, that's way too early for a crash. On the right side, despite being 3 laps, it's a very short track. I don't know if the shortest one in the game, but it's certainly up there as one of the shortest ones, so at least it's not that long to do the whole event. Yeah, man, that explosion was so shitty. Glad he was right next to me. Yeah, that's the corner. Even when I tried to take it with a lot of anticipation, it still doesn't want to happen, you know? I don't know how I survived that. Nice. It's not only about the traffic, it's also about like those oh man, can you stop doing that? Like, I'm not pressing anything that can make this shit behave that way. Like, I don't understand why it does it. You're trying to do victory donuts and you're not even in the podium right now. What's wrong with you? Got pretty close to crashing there. And there. Mr. First Place, where are you? Right there, okay. So final lap. You know, right there I tried driving as close to the wall as possible, but it's still so hard when there is a random traffic car that you have absolutely no way of predicting. Like, there's nothing that you can do. You're dead. At least I crashed right in front of that guy. Would have been worse, but yeah, that fucking corner is insanely fucked up. I think that over half of the corners that I did, I can't believe that. There's no one nearby. Never mind. I can't believe that. I can't believe that the finish line is after that shit. To make it even more salty, you know? Because it's not easy to aim, but even worse when you have traffic, so there are some... Because as soon as you see that place, you cannot really decide on where you want to enter. If there's traffic blocking you, you have to immediately switch, and aiming while that happens is very hard to do. Well, this fucking sucks. I simply cannot... I'm not capable of winning this race. I just cannot do it. Man, come on, dude. Like, it's just getting old, crashing over and over again. But what do you want me to do? Because if I were to go this path, where there is not oncoming traffic, it's not like it's gonna make a big difference. There are some places where you simply cannot see who is ahead of you, while not to mention that not being in the oncoming traffic lane means no meter build unless you do near misses. You can see right there it's not like you had a choice to go to the oncoming traffic lane, and I still crash. Oof. Okay, right there I not only drifted but also like legitimately used the brakes. It's the only way to at least guarantee that you're not gonna crash that corner. Like for example right there, I got lucky. There was no car in front of that passage check, right? But yeah, like if you don't get lucky, then what? You're screwed. Can I blame the wind for that? Not for, you know, not like the in-game wind, there is no wind in-game. I mean the wind that is like in real life here. Like, while that was happening, the wind here just blew very, very fast. Kinda distracted me a little bit. So I feel like even without distraction I still would have crashed, but the distraction definitely didn't help. Dude, I can't believe that. And there I cannot blame the traffic car. That was 100% on me. Yeah, I guess I'm not capable of beating this race. It's just not something I can do. But then that's fucked up. I guess it's just that at that point I get so nervous that I simply cannot pass that checkpoint. Well, I don't know how you call that in English. I'm assuming you call it something like checkpoint. It's basically the place where you pay to keep going. Well, not like we are paying here. Well, I guess I'm paying with my car by demolishing it every time I try to get through. Not sure if it's a very optimal payment though. At least that explosion didn't go to waste, but man. I can tell you without a doubt that my salt levels are rising very quickly. Not like there was any doubt, but they are definitely getting higher and higher. right there, I anticipated the drift so much that if that didn't work, nothing would have worked, basically. You know, I started drifting from way before the corner started. See, like, it seems that I can get that passage just fine in every other lap, but in the lap that matters, which is the very final one, apparently I cannot do it. Also, that previous lap counted as a burnout lap, so that means that burnout was active the entirety of the lap, which is pretty cool. If only we could repeat that. Well, I guess we cannot repeat it anymore because of that crash, but if at least we could maintain the lack of crashes for until the lap is over, that would be great. Deeply appreciated even. That was such a good drift. Even the game agrees, awesome drift. This time it actually worked, then finally, Jesus. That took so long. It really took so long. Yeah, in fact, I think that was like, what, 15 minutes worth of attempts, maybe even more. I think I've been retrying so much, I even got a trophy. I don't know what the trophy is for. For total near misses, well, yeah, I'm assuming it is. So only need 500 total takedowns to get the Maniac trophy. The Dominator, as I say, we can already forget about that, but that's fine. So then there is this other race on the oil refinery track, and then the Grand Prix. But the real issue here is gonna be the final Maniac event, because if that's harder than the one that required 250,000, it will be the hardest event in the game, which makes sense since it's the very last one. But yeah, you kind of have like a proper final boss, I guess. Well, not really proper, I guess. If it was a final boss, it will be against a specific car, but if it's only getting points, it's... yeah, I wouldn't count it. Well, in fact, that's one thing about a lot of racing games don't have the concept of final boss. And I mean, you might think that it's stupid because, you know, racing games are... it's not a word, you know... they are technically not action games. But at the same time, I feel like having one-on-one duel for the final event against a car that you never raced against before, and by beating him, well, the fact that you unlock it by beating him or not is, I guess, irrelevant, but it would be so nice if at least the minimum was there, like just having a final event against a never seen before car. It would be a very nice way to end the game. Though in this particular game, a 1v1 with how the AI works, I guess it's not... well, you could do it. I mean, it will be like a regular race, but instead of having 5 opponents, you only have one. And you just make sure that that one opponent behaves in the same way that the second place usually behaves. Yeah, I guess that's not the way it works. Will I blow up? Yes. Keep in mind that the hardest part of the track comes here with this stupid ass corner. It's fine, at least this time I remember it. And considering that we might be tryharding this race for a bit, I'll definitely remember that corner. The same way I remember that corner in Autobahn where you need to drift preemptively. Well, I'll definitely remember this one now. hey, you never know, maybe multiple attempts will not be needed. Maybe. The guy took a shortcut, I guess. Fucking asshole. Also that the guy that is now in first place is super far from anyone else. From absolutely anyone else. But so am I, so I guess it balances out a little bit. Something that I do wonder though is if we're at least gonna be able to see the credits, because that wasn't the case either in Burnout Legends or in Burnout Revenge. Like, you don't get to see the credits there. Well, maybe you needed to do 100%, but in that needing 100% to see the credits and not simply beat every event is a little bit weird. I wonder if in this game they will show the credits. I mean, they didn't have any problem showing them in Burnout 3 when you completed every event, but I guess they do have a problem with it here. Nice, got him. Was afraid it wouldn't. He looked to be pretty far, but it's fine. Now, the issue is that this track differently from Autobahn. This one is long. It's a long track and 3 laps makes the whole race a very long race. Wait a second, that's a lap car? No way. Yeah, guess I'm first place, but that guy is in front of me, so he is a lap car. Well, that was unexpected. I think it's the first time that I see a lap car in this game. Like, how bad do you have to be doing to be lapped? I guess pretty badly. I didn't mean to take this path, but maybe it's a better one. I guess this one is meant to be the shortcut. Alright, well, you almost got it. Need to survive just a little bit more. I don't blame you if you won't be able to, but you need to. Hope this guy is not gonna fuck me over. No, he didn't. And that feels very weird, winning the race with a car in front of me. It was the low rider, so him being in super last place I guess makes sense. It's supposed to be the first Dominator car that you unlock. Hey, we got another gold medal, so yeah. Right now the only things left are the Grand Prix and this one that doesn't get unlocked until, yeah, you do the Grand Prix at least on bronze. So obviously I want to get gold. The question is if there are still 3 races or if there are more for being the final Grand Prix. We will see. Oh wait, hold up. I'm seeing a clone of me right now. Come on, dude. How dare you? I thought that it was solved, the idea that since there are 6 cards to pick from, that you wouldn't have yours repeated, but I guess you will have yours repeated after all. I wonder if the one that is not here is the lowrider. And I think it is the one that is not here. Like, we see the hot rod, we see the factory one, well, we see the same one. It might be the lowrider, the only one that is not here. But I also saw the supercar Dominator, so I think that the lowrider, after the performance on the previous race, they didn't let him participate. Makes sense. I will do the same. Oh, what the hell? Apparently the first place crashed, because now this guy is on first place. And now I'm on first place. So will we figure out how the Grand Prix restart works here? Or will I actually manage to win this in the first try, like every other Grand Prix? What will be the case, I wonder? Oof, that was close. Yeah, all of those were very close calls. Already crossed the finish lap once. So this is the final lap now. That completely screwed my meter gain. Oh, come on. Well, at least I caught that guy before it was too late. Someone else took his place. Maybe it's the same guy. It might be the same guy. It is the same guy. Unless there are also two of that one. That's the super car Dominator. Come on, dude. How did that drift not work? Okay, that was a very fast respawn. It didn't even let me wait for this guy. Okay. I'm not gonna risk here at the end. Just gonna go for the normal lane. There you go. Okay, good start for the Grand Prix at least. And there is still only 3 races for this Grand Prix, so I guess every single Grand Prix in the game is 3 races. They don't get any longer. Despite having the same like burnout mechanic as Burnout 2, one thing that happened a lot in Burnout 2 is that every Grand Prix was longer than the previous one, to the point that you had a Grand Prix with like 7 races, right? But this one is the opposite of that. Just keeping it with 3, no matter what. I mean, that's fine by me. Just something worth considering, I guess. Yeah, I'm not afraid of this Grand Prix. I'm afraid of the next event. The next event is the one that could be a real issue. If it's a maniac event with more than 250,000 points, it could take me a very long time. We should hope that it won't. And as always, one car crossing the street is the one that provokes the crash. Then I thought that was a shortcut. Oh, to be fair, I don't think that's my fault. I mean, those crosses that tell you that you cannot go there don't appear until you get very close. Oh, I can't stop crashing. I fucked that. Did it too late. Oh, well, I got screwed there. I completely lost the burnout chain because of the takedown cutscene. That's the first time that happens. It's like the AI that took over on the burnout cutscene stopped boosting and it obviously made me lose the chain. Very weird. It is what it is. No. Whew. Okay, I press R2. Damn it. But I reach someone. I don't think that's the guy that was in first place, though. You know. Maybe. I don't know. What I do know is that the race is almost over. So I gotta be careful. Got a regular burnout, but that's enough to finish. Nice. Okay, well, I think that this is pretty much a guaranteed. Oh no, not yet. Because the same one that got second place in the first one got second place on the second one, so it's still not guaranteed no matter what. But that's fine. Oh, but the problem is that it's this track, it's Malaysia. Fuck. This truck that fucked me over so much. Well, at least it's not in the same direction than the one that took me so long to beat. So maybe it's not gonna be that hard. Hard to tell. I get that guy? I don't think so. Well, I got him actually, nice. Well, the thing is that the same car that I'm using right now, but like my opponent basically, I think that that's the one that is intended to be the one in first place, but he's constantly failing to get first place. So that's a little bit of an issue. So in this race, to be able to guarantee my victory, I need 3 points. And the issue is that 3 points requires a third place. And even though it shouldn't be a problem to get third place, if that was the final lap, I wouldn't have gotten third place. Well, third or first, neither of them. The thing is that I need at least third place to be sure that I will win. So otherwise, we are in deep trouble. So, deep trouble depending on who wins. Okay, well, that guy crashed. That corner is deadly. Like, it's a chicane. Like, it's almost impossible to get out of that without crashing. Alright, what we can do though is just not care about the burnout chain and just work with this boost that I have right now. Oh, come on, that was impossible to see. That's a double takedown at least. Ooh, I almost crashed there. Okay, I won. Nice. I wasn't expecting to win, but cool to see that. Yeah, and I'm glad because well, actually the guy that got second place got third in this one. So I guess he wouldn't have won even with a very bad result. Well, even getting last place he wouldn't have won, I think. Though I guess it depends, because here I was first, so if I was last place he will be second and then he will have surpassed me, I guess. Well, not surpassed me, but tied me. And since we don't know how the tiebreaker works, maybe he will have won. I don't know. Well, we don't know how the tiebreaker works or how the Grand Prix reset works. So, well, we won't need any more because that was the final Grand Prix. And now this Total Mania got unlocked. I don't know what track is Ocean Drive, but we will see. Rather than the track, I'm interested to seeing the points. Game. Well, that pretty much requires an absolute perfect event. Like, you cannot crash a single time unless you get more than 2 laps, which I doubt it. Otherwise 1 million requires perfection from beginning to end. Then that's so fucked up, dude. I mean, I don't think this track is particularly hard, but I mean, it's not about how hard the track is, it's about how hard it is to not crash for such a long period of time. Well, not only not crash, you also have to constantly be able to refill your meter. If you cannot keep the chain going, even if you don't crash, it's the same as nothing. And that's fucked up. At least for... maybe it's just me coping, but it looks like there is less traffic. It looks like they knew that asking for a perfect event was a little bit too fucked up, so I think they made it so the amount of traffic is way less here. I mean, you can see that their entire... I fucked up. Yeah, there are entire sections with no traffic. Oh, it says it. I didn't see what it said in the loading screen. It says this is it. This is the final event of the world tour. Do you have what it takes to get the gold? I don't know. I think that you went a little bit overboard for this. I feel like you probably exaggerated a little bit. Well, at least here there is absolutely zero doubt that this is the hardest event in the game. Hey, well, at least they did save the hardest one for last. But at least balance-wise, it's a smart decision. But I don't know how long it's gonna take me to beat this. At least the good thing is that I don't need to worry about a plan B, because this event will most likely take all the remaining stream time. So, well, even if it didn't, I think that this was good enough for today, you know. Like, even if I got it in this attempt, I don't feel the need to to pad the stream with anything else. Would be the perfect way to end it right here. And we will see how. That was an act of mercy. Did we already pass the lab? Yeah, well, no, here. I think here is where we pass the lab. But yeah, I guess the other thing to check is if this is only 2 laps or if you're allowed to do more than 2 laps. Because if it's more than 2 laps, you maybe don't need to perfectly do this, but I don't know. I mean, 1 million is still a lot. Let's assume that instead of 2 laps there are 3. I feel like even with that, you still need a big degree of perfection. Well, in fact, actually, I know that this increases the score exponentially, but right now it's looking like if it's only 2 laps, it won't be enough score. Even with a perfect run. Okay, that's the issue of taking that path. Like, that path is not oncoming, so you have to, like, you won't gain anything. It's the second time I lose the chain in the same place, so you gotta stick to the left side there. Yeah, at least, as I say, I think that the game has the decency of putting not that much traffic, at least compared to other events. But on the right side here, you are not limited to only 1 car. Like, if you want to try another one, at least you have other 5 to pick from. Though they all go the same speed, so it's not like you can magically pick a slower one to make this easier. Though I do believe that the lowrider, if it has the same shitty acceleration that it had in Burnout Revenge, it could potentially be easier. So I guess if I struggle too much with this one, I could give it a try, but didn't do. This is gonna be something else, though. Though at least I want to figure out if it's 2 laps or if it's more. Because if it's more, I can probably not need to reset that much. Yeah, unfortunately here the game doesn't tell you. The game essentially makes you keep going until the finish line shows up. They don't count the laps for whatever reason. What is for sure is that I have to focus here like never before. Because I need to be consistent for such a long period of time. That's one lap. If you were satisfied only by getting bronze, you essentially only need to do one perfect lap. Obviously not. Especially not after having a gold in every other event. I mean, that's the issue at the end of the day. Like, you're gonna have these assholes showing up out of nowhere, and there's nothing you can do. Aside from not going on the oncoming lane, but if you're intended to keep this chain going, it's not like you have much of an option. So, the one thing that I want to check here is... like, normally this will be a restart, but I want to see if it's 2 laps. I'm gonna keep going, even though it won't be enough no matter what. I want to confirm if they are gonna be 2 laps, so I might run out of time before that happens, actually. Will be pretty sad, but it's looking like that will be the case. It's gonna be 2 laps, it's gonna be around here, the finish line. Well, I don't see... unless it was further? Maybe it was further. No, it wasn't further. Okay, so it's more than 2 laps. So, well, I guess there the question is how many laps? If it's 3, this is most likely not gonna be enough. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's not, because with this, well, and especially if I lose it there. Okay. Well, what we know is that at least they are not 2 laps, so that means that you have more margin, but that also means that the game kinda intends you to survive for longer, which in turn makes this whole thing a lot harder. Really had to do that, right? Yeah, apparently this piece of fucking shit cannot help itself and randomly spins out like that. I don't know why you do it like this, dude. Like, what's wrong with you? And again, I could change car. If I think that this car is an issue, there are other 5 to pick from. We'll probably pick the factory car again, probably. That's the last time you did that. That's the last time. Alright, let's pick another one. Well, and by another one I mean this one. The lowrider is still in my plans though, guys. If it is slower, then it's gonna be easier to beat this event. Though, I don't know if the driving is gonna be a lot worse or not. That will be a problem too. though, it's pretty clear that even if it's not an insane difference, it feels like this one does drift better. I don't know though, I feel like I'm going insane. Maybe they all drive exactly the same and I'm just making shit up. But then again, if you were tryharding an event like this, you will be going insane too, so I think it's the normal reaction. Fuck, dude. I'm keeping this car though. Like, unless I see this car spinning out, I'm keeping it. Also, get skip. Get absolutely skip. Unless I see this car spinning out, I think it will be the one I'll use to beat this event. As I say, I don't discard the low rider. I feel like if I reach the 3-hour mark with this event not being beaten yet, then I will try the low rider. Damn it. Like, you might have gone a little bit overboard, Mr. Game, with this shit. The only event that is close in difficulty to this one is the Dominator challenge in the racing series. Any other event is way easier than this. I guess the races can be an exception, but you know, the races is that you don't really need to beat them all if you don't want to. Well, you also don't need to beat this event, I guess. Just that if you got to this point, it's like you kinda feel the need to do it. After getting that far, like folding on the final challenge feels like a bad idea. That was so extremely close. It was also... I hate these fucking random traffic cars that you cannot possibly see, dude. It would be nice to at least have some sort of... I mean, I know that it will take away from the immersion, I guess. It would be nice to have like a little arrow showing that a traffic car is coming, because in a situation like that you cannot possibly see, and you couldn't see even if you were in the in the other lane. It doesn't matter the direction of the car, like you wouldn't see it no matter what. So it's like the game is asking you to predict the future here. Well, or even worse, which is getting laggy. You cannot predict the future, it's a matter of getting laggy that a traffic car is not in the, like, right in front of you at any given time when you cannot see it. Well, that one I could see it, but too late. Damn it. My problem is that with the heat, I also don't really have the, you know, the motivation to try hardest too much. Like, it's very hot in here, so there's something that you don't want to is getting even hotter by tryharding. I don't know why that counted as a crash. It's like the game is making shit up at this point. Well, it seems that a lot of the drifts are pretty much intended to be done by also pressing the brakes. Because even though the ideal drift is pressing the brake only once to initiate it and then drifting at full speed, you could also just hold the brake button and you still drift, but you do it slower. But in a lot of cases that seems to be the solution. In a situation like that, for example, I got extremely lucky that I didn't hit any car. And there I didn't get lucky. Yeah, this seems like it's gonna be absolute ass. It really will be absolute ass to do. But I will feel very bad not getting this right now, so leaving it for another day will be a horrible idea. I feel like the game is asking for way too much right here. Like the devs went a little bit overboard for this final event. And here there wasn't such a thing as online achievements, but it would have been nice to see of the amount of people that play this game, how many were able to achieve gold in this event. So I can imagine that a very big portion of them could not. guess the strategy of doing a brake drift is not bad for like these super sharp corners. Seems like it works pretty well. Close. That one I almost lost the burnout right there. And there, like this first section of the track is very hard to keep the burnout going. Ooh, that was extremely close. It was almost a jump scare, I will say. Well, and so was that. Well, I mean, anything that involves oncoming traffic that you don't see until it's right in front of you is pretty much a jump scare by definition. And yes, as expected, if this was 2 laps, it wouldn't have been enough. That's so fucked up. Though if it is 3 laps, you don't have to resist until the end of the 3rd lap to get to 1 million with how exponentially this is increasing, but you need to still resist quite a bit here. And that's hard, of course. That's bad. Okay. No. Oof. Actually, I think that's the first time I get to 30. And I got the gold medal. Nice. Whew. Damn. No, we still don't know if it's 3 laps or 4 or more. I would assume that it's only 3 though. Well, only. For an event like this, 3 is a lot, but yeah, obviously it's necessary if what you want is a 1 million score. But then this was really hard. And notice that I had to switch to this car, like the factory Dominator, because the one from the racing category was doing some dumb shit. Well, at least that's a good thing. If someone didn't unlock every car, and especially considering that the racing Dominator car, the Dominator challenge there is very hard. This one is only on the 2nd one, and that one shouldn't be hard to unlock. Well, I got it, 1.5 million, so I basically managed to do the event perfectly. And we also got a trophy award. At this point, this is the final event. Wait, what you mean do you have the burnout chaining skills? I already did it. Are you stupid, game? Yeah, of course I do. Didn't you should see what I did? Need to be paying more attention, game. You're not paying attention. So... Oh, you cannot skip the song in the menu, apparently. Or at least maybe not while it's saving. Well, it's fine. So, well, win all the gold medals. And we don't see the credits. And we get, well, you saw the check mark saying that we got all the gold medals, and you can also see them here. But we get no credits again. Because apparently I'm assuming that if you want to see the credits, you have to probably get 100%, which means getting all the trophies. Well, as I said, I'm not gonna do that. I don't think it's worth doing. But hey, I got all of the gold medals, which was my objective. What shows up in extras here? Well, yeah, the cutscenes. So in the percentage here it says, yeah, basically trophies and awards. And well, awards are the ones that give you the trophy. And well, you can see the shortcut. I got 3 out of 16. And since that's one of the needed awards to get the final trophy, it's something that, as I say, it's simply not worth doing. So let's just leave it here with all the gold medals. Well, and 88%. I think that 88% is also a pretty good milestone, you know. But yeah, all the gold medals were gotten, so hey, I guess that was Burnout Dominator. So the next one in the series is, well, pretty much the final one, which is Burnout Paradise on the PS3. That's a game that I don't plan on playing until the summer is over, because... well, and the summer should started, but the thing is that playing a game that, emulating a game on the PS3 emulator like that one, first of all, I don't even know if you can emulate it properly, but if you can, it will make the computer heat up a lot, and I will basically incinerate myself in this room if I do it during summer. So yeah, unfortunately, Burnout Paradise is gonna happen in, I guess, a couple of months from now, if not more. But hey, at least all of the PS2 Burnout games are over, so hey, good stuff. So thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream with something else. So have a good one, and take care.